Hi everyone, how are you my dear children? Hope you all are safe and fine. Today as you can see we are going to start a new chapter, that is vectors. In physics we study large number of physical quantities which are classified into two parts. Physical quantities classified into two parts. One is scalar, broadly it is classified like this. One is scalar, another is vector. And you are acquainted with these two terms. What is scalar? Scalars are those quantities which have magnitude and no direction. So scalar is having magnitude, no direction. What are the example? Easy. Mass, time, mass, speed, time, distance. Okay. Suppose you can take a object. Okay. It is a bag. Okay. This object is having weight of suppose 3 kg and you have to put this object into this bag. Now 3 kg. I'll tell another object, add another object and put it in this bag, and that object is of 5 kg. Then what is the total amount? Simply you can add 3 plus 5, that is 8 kg mass is there inside the bag. Okay, this is your scalar. What is vector? Vectors are those quantities which have magnitude. It has got magnitude and more importantly it has got direction also. Okay, it has got direction, magnitude and direction. Clear? This thing you know. Suppose I am telling ki my school is 8 kilometer away, but from where? In which direction? Suppose I am going 5 kilometer. 5 kilometer? 5 kilometer towards east, towards north, towards south or towards west. That is all about your vector. It specifies the direction. Okay, but these 2 points are sufficient to take it is a vector. Till now you have studied like that, but now you are in class 11th, so you need to know more. More importantly, third point, it obeys vector law of addition. It obeys vector law of addition. And in this chapter we are going to study about vectors only. Let us try to understand what this point tells us. Let me erase this. Okay. So what is vector? Suppose I am moving from this distance to this distance and distance is 2 meter. Then again from this distance I have moved in the same direction, suppose 3 meter. Okay. Then how much distance I have moved? 2 meter plus 3 meter from the starting position is 5 meter. Okay. Take another example. Suppose I am moving towards east 4 meter. Again I am moving in the same direction towards east 3 meter. Tell me how much I have covered. What is the total distance I have covered? 4 meter plus 3 meter, that is your 7 meter. You can say it is a displacement from the starting point to the end point. Okay. Now another case. Suppose I am moving 4 meter towards east. After that I am moving 3 meter towards west. Now tell me how much distance I have covered. Here displacement again because specifying the direction. So tell me now. So 4 meter. If this is positive, then this direction has to be negative. So 4 meter minus 3 meter is 1 meter. Okay. Now suppose I'll tell you, like I have moved 4 meter towards east, then I have moved 3 meter towards north. Okay, then what is the displacement? So displacement will be from initial to final point, this much. This is your displacement. What is this class? What is this? Tell me now. 4 meter, 3 meter. Is it 7 or is it 1? No. It will be 5 meter children. Okay. This is the Pythagoras theorem. So 4 meter, 3 meter. 4 square plus 3 square, then square root 5 meter. See, everywhere now your result is different. So here there is an interesting observation. As you can see, the additions in this case, in this case, in this case, additions depends upon the angle between the vectors. Okay, that we are going to study in detail in subsequent classes. Okay, children. So this is the way vectors are. We just can't add 4 meter and 3 meter like this. This is not scalar. You have to obey certain rules to add vectors. Okay, we'll study about triangle law of vector addition, parallelogram law of vector addition, all those things we'll study in details. So now vector means it has got magnitude, it has got direction, and most importantly it obeys vector law of addition. Okay, now one important note, very important. You can give stars against this note. So that means you have to underline this. What is this important note? Note is all vector quantities have direction. All vector quantities have direction. But is the reverse is true? No. Reverse is not always true. That means the quantities that have direction, not necessarily they will be vectors. Example, reverse is not true. Reverse is not true always. Okay? Common example, current. Okay? Current has direction, but it has direction, it has got magnitude, but it is not a vector, children. Why? Because it does not obey vector law of addition. Let us see. Suppose here 4 ampere current. See, it has got direction. Current is moving in this direction. Okay. Now here another current 3 ampere is coming like this. Now from here 7 ampere current will move like this. 4 ampere again, then 3 ampere, then 7 ampere. So what we are doing? We are just adding this. Let me change the direction of current. I'll add 4 ampere like this. Okay. Then 3 ampere like this. This is 4 ampere. This is 3 ampere. And now this is 7 ampere. See, I am changing the direction of current also. But it is not going to change the result. It is 7 ampere. That means we are just adding the values. So that means the quantities have a direction, but not necessarily it will be a vector. Is it okay, children? Even power also. Downward direction, upward direction, but it is not a vector. Now next, how to represent vectors? how to represent vectors, children. How to represent vectors. This is a tail. Vectors are represented by a straight line with arrow head on it. You can say a arrow. Okay. So this is your tail. So this is your starting point. And this is your head. Okay. This is your terminal point or end point. And this length is nothing but magnitude. Okay. Suppose I'll tell ki the velocity is 10 meter per second. Velocity is 10 meter per second. Velocity is 10 meter per second. Then what we have to do? We have to choose suitable scale to draw the line. Let 2 meter per second is 1 centimeter. For 10 meter per second, what is the length? Will be 5 centimeter. Now I will draw this. Okay. I will give a arrow on this. That means it is a vector. This is now 5 centimeter. This length is 5 centimeter. So it represents 10 meter per second velocity. Is it clear? So velocity is simply we can write 10 meter per second. When arrow mark is there, it is understood it is a vector quantity. And when we'll write like this, this is called modulus. That means we are talking about the magnitude only, the number only, this. Okay. Sometimes we write like this also, simply V. So it understood ki we are talking about magnitude, the numerical value only. Is it clear? So numerical value, no direction. And always this magnitude, suppose vector A. If we write like this, that means we are talking about only the numerical value, that is your positive quantity only, no direction. Positive quantity. Okay. Sometimes, let me clear this. We'll write like this, A, B. So how to represent this vector now? A, B, children. This is simply A, B. See the arrow. From A, it starts and it going towards B. So from here also you can easily understand from where to where this vector quantity is moving. You can get the direction from this representation also. Is it clear, children? Okay. Let us understand in more detail. Because this is very crucial chapter, children, vector chapter. Okay. Every chapter, almost in every chapter you need this vector representation. So we need to understand vectors in very easy manner and we should have more clarity. Okay. Suppose I am telling Ram is traveling 5 meter per second towards north. How to represent this now? Tell me. See. This is your north, this is your east, this is your west and this is your south. I am telling Ram is moving 5 meter per second with the velocity 5 meter per second towards north. So, if it is origin, then Ram is moving like this, 5 meter per second towards north. Okay. See, children, this is your east, north, west and south. So, exactly at 45 degree, this will be your northeast. Okay. And this is your northwest. This thing you know in geography also. Okay. This is your what? Northwest, southwest, then southeast. This thing you know. And these are your 45 degrees angle only all the time. Suppose there is a question. Let us practice 1, 2 so that we can draw the vectors easily. Suppose question is there कि 20 degree north of east. 20 degree, a vector is 20 degree north of east. How to write north of east? Then what we'll do? Simply draw this. North, south, west, east. North of east. North of east. 20 degree. So we'll move from east. This is your 20 degree, children. North of east. Towards north. Okay, north of east. 20 degree. Clear? Now another. Draw 20 Newton. This is the first example. Then second example. Draw 20 Newton 60 degree east of south. In numericals you will get such questions. 60 degree. This you are going to use in numericals. Okay? 60 degree east of south. How to do? East of south. Okay? That means from south towards it, it is 60 degree. So let me draw this. Again north, west, east and south. 20 Newton. So I can choose a scale. Suppose 2 centimeter. Sorry. Let me erase this. Okay. Suppose I'll choose a scale. Every 20 centimeter represents 1 Newton. Then for 20 Newton, what will be the scale? It will be 10 centimeter. Okay. Now 60 degree east of south. That means from south towards east. 60 degree. Okay. Is it clear? This is your 20 Newton and what is this length? This is your 10 centimeter. Is it clear, children? If any doubt, please let me know. Write it in comment section box. Now we'll discuss types of vectors. Different types of vectors. Different types of vectors. First we'll study what is equal vectors. This is your types, children. Types of vectors. So first is your types of vectors. So first is equal vectors. What does it mean? The vectors which are having same magnitude and direction has to also same. That means same direction. And one more thing, children, it has to get same nature of quantity, physical quantities. Same nature of physical quantity. What does it mean? That means simply it should have same units. Let us try to understand this. Suppose velocity 1 is 5 meter per second towards east. This is your velocity 1. Okay. Now another velocity v2 towards east, that is 5 meter per second. Okay. So these two vectors are equal vectors. See, velocity 1 is equal to velocity 2. Magnitude is same 5 and 5. And direction is also same. And units, this is also meter per second. This is also velocity. This is also velocity. Clear, children? If I tell कि now 5 meter per second east, this is your V1. Now V2 is towards west. V2 is 5 meter per second towards west. These two vectors are not equal vectors. Are they equal? No. Okay, here these two vectors are not equal, children. See, because they are having different direction. Okay, now if I'll tell I'm having two vectors now, 5 meter per second towards east, 5 meter towards east. Are they equal vectors, children? No, because this vector represents the displacement and this vector represents velocity. So they both are of different physical quantity. So how will you compare? So that means these two vectors are not equal. Is it clear, children? What is equal vectors? Okay. Now we'll discuss what is negative vector. What is negative vector, children? Negative vector means same magnitude but opposite direction. Same magnitude but it should have opposite direction. Direction has to be just opposite. So that means V1 same, suppose 5 meter per second towards east. Okay, now V2 5 meter per second towards west. Okay, V1 is minus of V2. Both these having, see, same magnitude. They both have same magnitude. They both have same magnitude. But these two are not equal vectors. They are negative vector. Clear, children? Magnitude will be same but just opposite. 5 meters suppose towards this. If it is like this, so these two vectors are negative vectors of each other. Clear? Now what is the third one? Third one will be parallel vectors. What is this parallel vectors? Parallel vectors means magnitude may vary. It may same or may not be same, but direction will be always same. Direction is same. So these two vectors are parallel vectors. Direction has to same. Direction is same, but magnitude may or same. Okay, suppose this is your vector A, this is your vector B. So both A and B are parallel vectors. If it is A, if it is B, equal magnitude also, A and B also here parallel vectors. Is it clear, children? That means here the angle between the vectors is 0. The angle between the vector is 0 over here in the case of parallel vectors. Then what is anti-parallel vectors? Let us discuss. What is anti-parallel vectors? Anti-parallel vectors. What is this? So here one vector, now it is in opposite direction. One vector, now in opposite direction. So see the angle over here. Let me clearly draw over here. This is one vector, this is another vector. See the angle between them. So theta is equal to 180 over here. The angle between them is 180 degree. Okay, these are parallel but in opposite direction. So this is your anti-parallel vectors. Now let us discuss what is collinear vectors. What is collinear vectors? What is collinear vectors? Collinear vectors means vectors arcs along the same line, or you can say parallel also. The parallel and anti-parallel both comes under collinear vectors also. Okay. So magnitude may or may same or may not be same. Not necessary both are has to same magnitude. What does it mean? This is collinear. Suppose a vector is acting like this. Next vector is acting like this. So these two vectors are called collinear vectors. Is it clear? Let us try to understand. So this is a floor. A box is over here. Okay. Now a force is applied on the box in this direction. Okay. After some time the box is at this place. Okay. See, force is along this direction and the displacement is also in the same direction. So same line of action, both force and displacements, they act along the same line. So this is the example of collinear vectors. Suppose now object is over here and a person is pulling. This is the force direction, pulling the box like this. Okay. After some time box will displace to this position. Now see the direction of. So this is the direction of the displacement, but this is the direction of the force. Both these displacement and force, they are not acting in the same line. So this is not the case of collinear, but this is the case of collinear. So when we are talking about parallel lines, that means this. Okay. So I can shift this vector parallelly to this point. So it will act in the same line. Similarly for the anti-parallel also. Clear, children? Now we will discuss what is coplanar. What is coplanar vectors? Coplanar vectors. What does it mean? Same plane, coplane, coplanar. That means vectors are on same plane. This is one vector, this is another vector. See, this is a board, this is one plane only. So both the vectors are in one plane. Okay, they both are in the same plane. So any two vectors can lie on the same plane. What about the third vector, children? Third vector can lie like this also. It can be on the plane. And third vector can lie like this also. Can you see? See, these are two vectors. These are two vectors. The third vectors lie like this. Now this is a different plane. Okay. This is your XY axis. Now I am talking about Z axis now. So this vector now in a different plane. So that means third vectors may or may not be in the same plane. Is it clear? Two vectors can be always in the same plane, but third vector may or may not be. If it is lying like this, then it is not in same plane. Clear? Okay. Now what is concurrent vectors? I think it is the number 7 types of vectors. What is concurrent vectors? Any idea what is concurrent vectors? So concurrent vectors means vectors whose line of action intersect at a point. That means they can act on the same point. Suppose you can say force F1, force F2, then force F3. This is termed as your concurrent vectors. Okay, so they are now in contact at the same point. With the same, they have the same common point. So this is concurrent. But is it necessary to have this contact? Is it necessary? Let us see. What I am telling now, please mind my words. It is not necessary to have the contact. Why? Because we have to consider the line of action. If their line of action, the vectors whose line of action intersect at a point, then those vectors are also called concurrent points. Let us try to see. Suppose this is a 2. Okay, one vector lying like this. Okay, it line of action is like this. This is a O. Okay, now another vector is acting like this in this object. Now see the line of action. It is passing through the same point O. Okay. Now suppose this another A, B, C. Okay. Now see the line of action. Line of action is same. So that means A, B and C, all three vectors are concurrent vectors because their line of action intersect at one point, common point. They have one point. Okay. Now let us see. Suppose another vector D. So what is the, draw the line of action. Now see, this vector D is not concurrent with A, B, C, as this vector is not having the same, it is not intersecting at the same point. Okay. But one more thing, this D is not concurrent with A, B, C, but C, with C, now they have the same intersection point. That means D and C are concurrent. D and C are concurrent. Is it clear, children? These are concurrent vectors. And here also, see, at this point, again it is meeting. So, that means these two, A and D, these two vectors are also concurrent. Clear, children, what is concurrent vectors? Okay? Okay. Now another simple one, that is co-initial vectors. What is co-initial? That means their initial point same. Initial point will be same. Co-initial vectors. Co-initial vectors. All three vectors, suppose I am considering three vectors, you can consider more vectors. They have the same initial point. So that means it is called co-initial vectors. Then what is null or zero vector, children? What is null or zero vector? Important one, null or zero vector. From the name itself, you can make out this vector is having magnitude 0, children. Magnitude will be 0, but direction can be anything, in any direction. So direction is arbitrary, or you can say random or any direction. Okay, any direction. Clear? So that means this vector is not moving at all. It is not moving in any directions. So that means it is like a point. Okay, not moving at all. Then what is unit vectors, children? What is unit vectors? So unit vectors means, as the name suggests, it has got magnitude 1. So unit vector. What is unit vector? Magnitude is 1. Magnitude will be 1. That means it has direction. It has direction. So unit vectors gives direction to a vector quantity. Since it has got one magnitude, it provides or it gives direction to vector quantity. Clear, children? So it is a vector. Suppose this is a vector A and this length is 1 unit, children. So how you represent this unit vector? A cap. A cap. So that means A cap should be magnitude is 1. And we can write A cap, okay, is equal to vector A divided by modulus of A. Okay. About this we are going to study in detail also. Now let us come to the parallel shifting of vectors. What does it mean? What is parallel shifting of vectors? Parallel, very important one, parallel shifting of vectors. This you need to be clear because it will help you to do the physics in very simple way. This, it has got so many applications. Every chapter, rotational motion, in circular motion, everywhere you need this. Okay, very very important one, parallel shifting. What does it mean, children? It means changing the position of vector from one place to another, but without changing the position of the vector. But crucial is without changing its and direction, without changing its magnitude and direction. So what is parallel shifting? Parallel shifting means changing the position of vector from one place to another without changing its magnitude and direction. Okay, so there are two types of parallel shifting. One is horizontal shifting, another is vertical shifting. So first one is horizontal shifting. What is this horizontal shifting, children? What is this horizontal shifting? Horizontal shifting, suppose the vector is over here, A vector, then another vector O, suppose. So this is B. Now angle is theta. So how to shift it? Now I am shifting this vector B, parallel shifting. So what I will do? I will just do like this. Extend this. Okay. Now shift. So this is your vector B. This angle has to be theta. So I am shifting this vector B over here. See, in both the cases, the angle is same between the vectors. So this is called parallel shifting. Then what is vertical shifting? Second is called vertical shifting. What is this vertical shifting, children? Vertical shifting. Suppose now this is a, okay, let me do it more clearly. What is vertical shifting? Suppose this is a vector A, okay. Now this is a vector B. Is it visible, children? Now this angle is theta. I want to shift this vector A vertically. That means I will shift the vector vertically. In this horizontal means I am shifting the vector like this. But important, don't change the magnitude, don't change the direction. Clear, children? So now I will shift this vector A to this position. So what I will do? I will just extend this line and I will just shift here. So this angle is also theta, children. So this is your parallel shifting. Is it clear? Here also the angle between A and B is theta. Here also the angle between A and B is theta. Is it clear, the shifting? Now we will discuss the angle between vectors. Again the crucial one. Again the crucial part of this vector chapter. What is angle between vectors? What is angle between vectors? Now we will discuss angle between vectors. Angle between vectors, children. What is angle between vectors? Let us try to understand why this is so important. See, suppose this is your triangle, children. Okay, A, B and C. This is 90 degrees, suppose. This is 60 degree. This is 30 degree. Simple. Angle B is 90, angle A is 60 and angle C is 30. Now I will turn this into like this. Okay, I will turn like this. Let me draw. Then I can. This is your A. This is your B. Okay. This is 90. This is 60 and this is 30, children. Now tell me what will be the angle between vector BC and CA. How to find out the angle between vector BC and CA? You can tell this is 30 only. No, children. We have to be very careful to find out the angle between the vectors. So what I will do, I'll try to make it easy. I'll just extend this vector like this. Okay, angle between vectors BC, that means BC is this, and angle between BC and C means it has to go like this, then this is the angle, na? it has to move the next vector like from BC. So it has to be like this. Okay. So for this what I'll do, I'll just stress this. I'll just pull this BC vector like this. Okay. Now see, this is your BC vector and this is your CA vector. So this is the angle between BC and CA. That means this is 30. So that means this is your 150 children. So angle between BC and CA is 150. Now tell me what will be the angle between CA and AB? Angle between CA and AB. How to do? See CA. So what I will do? I will pull this CA vector like this. I will pull this. If this is 60, then this is your AB only. CA and AB. So from CA now it is moving like this. So what is the angle now? This is now 120 degree. So it will be 120 degree children. Okay. Now tell me what is the angle between AB and BC. So that means you have to extend this line like this. So angle between AB and BC is simply 90 degree. Since this is 90, so this is also 90 degree. So from this, what we are observing? So angle between two vectors means we are actually talking between the angle between tail and tail. Suppose this is your vector and this is your vector. This is your angle, children. So the two vectors, the tails of the two vectors where they join, that will give you the angle. That means angle between heads of vectors or angle between tails of vectors gives you the angle. So here also we are doing the same thing. And one more thing, always remember the angle between vectors always lies between 0 to 180 degree. Clear? Okay? So what we are doing, we are just stretching these vectors. So I pull these vectors like this, trace this, and after this what I will do, I will look for the angle. I will find the angle that is included between these two vectors. Clear? Let us try to understand this with 1-2 examples. Then it will be clear, I think. Then after that when we will do the numericals, you can visualize these things more clearly. I am sure about that. Okay? We will do so many questions also based on this. Suppose this is one vector. Suppose vector B now. Okay. Now this is another vector A. And this angle is given, suppose 150 degree, children. 150 degree. Tell me what is the angle between vectors. Okay. Tell me what will be the angle between these two vectors, vector A and vector B. Is it 150? No, it is not 150. See, this is the head of one vector and this is the tail. We are not supposed to find out like this. So what we are going to do? We are going to do, we will shift this vector B now. Parallel shifting. So we will shift. Now I will shift this vector B like this. So this is your vector B now. I have shifted this vector to this. Parallel shifting. Okay. So what we have done? We have done the parallel shifting of B. Now this is the tail and tail. Tell me, this is your actual angle. So this angle will be 30 degree. Is it visible, children? Is it visible? Now the angle between A and B is 30 degree. What I have done? I have done this vector B. I have just shifted. This is your A. This is 150 given. So I have just shifted this vector B. Okay, like this. So now this angle will be 30. So this is your angle. If question is given like this. This is the vector A. This is the vector B. And this is suppose 30 degree. Tell me what is the angle between A and B? Here it is head to head. See, head to head. That means here angle between A and B is 30 degree. Clear, children? Now suppose question is given like this. A and B and this is given 60. Tell me whether the angle between A and B will be 60 or it will be 300. Which one will the angle between the vectors? This is also tail to tail. Angle between A and B will be 60 degree, children. remember this. Here angle between A and B will be 60 degree. Okay, we will consider the smaller angle between the two vectors. Clear? Is it clear? Now one more thing. Suppose we will consider the smaller angle. Important. Just note it. Make a star mark and write it. Another one. Important one. Last one. When we rotate the vectors by suppose 360 degree. Suppose the vector is like this. I am rotating the vector by 360 degree. So it will be 360 degree again. See, the vector will not change. This vector does not change with 2 pi rotation. So with 2 pi rotation or 360 degree rotation, vector does not change. Clear? Okay? Hope I am clear. So in next video lecture, we are going to see so many other things and so many types of vectors are still remaining. So we will discuss one by one. If this lecture helps you in understanding the concept in better way, please give a feedback. Okay? Keep studying and take care of your children. Thank you for watching, children.